Hello, this should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? That's a peculiar start. That's a peculiar start, but you're ending with the Two of Cups. How are you getting there? We'll find out, I guess. Ooh. Okay, that makes more sense. I don't think of Aries as shy. The base energy of Aries, and there's a lot of different flavors to it because, you know, your chart's made up of a whole thing. You know what I mean? The reason I'm starting with that is, like, you may have told somebody exactly what you thought, and you were just right to the point. Your truth in the moment, the truth in a moment can be very strong, but it is your truth. What is going on here is a great question. Because I think you're figuring out something here that didn't make sense at one point. And I feel like Aries learns this over time. You're very strong, well, you know that. But sometimes you can overwhelm other people, and they may have truth to tell, or they may have another piece of the story, but if you have flat out floored them with what you said, they may have lost their marbles or lost their bearings. Lost their bearings is probably a better way to say that. And they just don't reciprocate with their truth. They just kind of sit there stunned. Aries is very strong. In my opinion, Aries is very strong. And sometimes people can't handle the honesty, especially if it's coming forward with some passion. If you're upset and unhappy and you're saying something, you can blow somebody out of the water. And I feel like the people who connect to that energy know exactly what I'm saying. You're very strong. And if it comes forward that way, you can blow them right out of the water. Okay, so the reason we're starting with that is because the truth is coming forward and you've learned some stuff. And you may have learned this over time. This is interesting. Whatever this is, it's a longer story that I feel like I was not thinking I would be picking this back up later, but it seems to be returning to me. Over time, you have figured out some things. Maybe not the total mystery, but you have realized that, you know, certain things I believed were the truth because of what people were telling me. And other things have come to light since then, and I've learned other things since then. I hate this analogy so much. This reminds me of, like, I hate this analogy so much. When you're dating somebody and this other person is, like, complaining about all the things the person you're dating did to them, and the person you're dating is saying, well, I did this, but I didn't do that. They're giving half-truths, but you're not realizing it. And they're being very brutal to the person they just broke up with, and you're not realizing what's actually happening, which is when this person's in a bad mood, they get very, very nasty. Until the day that you break up with them, and then you get the other side of that story because it happens to you. I don't know if that makes sense, but, like, it's basically saying it's when you're on the out and you're seeing it from the window view, when you're on the outside of the house and you're seeing it from the window, and people are telling you what's happening, and you're like, well, that makes sense. That looks like that's what's going on. That makes sense. That looks like that's what's going on. Okay, that all makes sense. Until you're on the inside of the house and you're like, well, it looked like one thing from outside, but now that I'm in here, I'm hearing what's actually going on, and no. Because it's like from the outside, it looks like this person's just crazy, running around screaming at people. When you get inside the house, you find out, oh, the snake, somebody's pet snake got loose, and that would make me run around the house screaming too, because I don't want to be anywhere near that thing. Or worse, a pet tarantula. I'm just saying. It's like, oh, now that I'm inside the house, I see what's actually going on. I had no idea that that was even a factor, but now it makes more sense to me. Now it makes more sense to me. This person was not crazy. This person was having a rational response to the crazy circumstances going on in this situation. And it's kind of one of those things. Take it with a grain of salt. If the reading is hitting, I feel like you'll know. Some of you might still be watching going, I don't know about this. Well, let's see if it gets any further, because I keep getting, things are reconstituting, and I've learned something about a person that, like, I originally thought this, that, and the other thing, but now that I'm seeing things a little differently and I've gotten more of the truth, now I feel like I need to rebuild this situation. I need to reassess it. This is Aries energy advancing. For those of you this is going to hit with, your energy is advancing. You're making that soul jump forward. Your soul's advancing. It's an evolution. I was going to say jump in evolutions. I almost came out Jevolution, but sure, you're Jevolving. Why not? Why not? You can do what you want. So, so you're going to do what you want. That's what you're going to do. I'll put that in the title. That won't go well. If I put it in the title, I'll get like 50 comments about how I don't know how to spell words. That'd be great. No, it wouldn't actually. There's a lot of healing. There's a lot of advancement for you. This is not easy because I keep looking at this other card, and coming back into this situation and putting it to rest is really uncomfortable, and I don't feel like I like it. But that's part of the evolution process. We tend not to like those. It's the growing pains. It doesn't feel good. It's not enjoyable, but that's where we get our great movements forward. That's where things change. That's where things get better. A lot of healing, a lot of advancement forward. That Three of Swords, though, it's not fun. It doesn't last forever, but it's still not fun. You know what I mean? There's a lot of healing. And coming back to this is not something I feel like you ever planned to do. I kind of feel like, well, it was what it was, and I moved on from it. I don't feel like I need to go back to it, and then all of a sudden it shows up at your doorstep, and there's a reason you're coming back to it. There is a reason you're coming back to it. So for whatever this is, there's a reason I feel like I need to come back to it. But how is this all going? Things get a little weird. Like they weren't to begin with, but things get a little weird. I think of Aries as an energy that owns up to things. And kind of like, you know what? If I was wrong, then I was wrong. I'll own up to it. If I was wrong, then I was wrong. And this energy it's kind of like, I almost feel like it's saying that, yeah, no, it's okay. And I feel like your side is like, no, I don't think it is. It's not okay what I did. I viewed it a certain way, and I did something that I don't really feel good about. And it's kind of like, because you know how strong you are. I think that's the big thing. And I feel like that's a big piece of it. Like, no, I don't think it's okay. There's a back and forth here that doesn't need to happen. I keep getting this weird, they're like, oh, it's all right. And you're like, no, I don't think it is. I really regret how I did that. It doesn't have to be a back and forth. Because it feels like, you can feel like, you know, like I did something that I need to make right, and I don't know how to do that. You can go that way. That's not really leading things anywhere. That's not really leading things anywhere. There's another version of this. Just acknowledging it may be enough. Because I feel like you're definitely going to do that if this is hitting. If this reading is hitting, I feel like you're going to acknowledge it. The Six of Swords comes in with the life purpose. The Six of Swords is an interesting card in my opinion. Because it's usually a temporary break in my opinion. It doesn't have to be, but to me it usually is. Letting them go and going, okay, you're fine. I don't want to bother you. You're good. I'm not okay with it, but I'm glad that you are. And probably keeping that to yourself. The moment will come back around where they can use some help. I just feel Aries is very honorable. And when the moment comes and you can make it right, you're just going to do what you need to do. I don't feel like you need to linger on it. The universe will help you make it right. Not like create bad things for this person, not like that. But like there'll be a moment where they kind of need some help and you'll just conveniently be there. The universe will help you in that sense, where they were going to need the help anyway, or they were struggling along. You'll get the opportunity to do what you need to do. Allow the universe to work with you. Don't linger on it. Let it go. And then when the moment comes in, you can do what you need to do. You can move forward when you need to move forward. You may be surprised. Whatever this connection is, be it business, pleasure, whatever, it doesn't have to go into romance. It could. It doesn't have to, but it could. Yeah, the Two of Cups is where this is ending with the friendship. A friendship is very important for the situation. You may end up a lot closer to somebody than you ever thought you would. You may end up having a connection here that you never thought you would. Could it be romance? Yes. Does it have to be? No. Let's remember, it's a general read. But they're saying you may end up finding that you get a lot closer over time. This energy might need a little time to get a little bit more warm. But you may find out that this is a really good energy for you. And you may find out this is somewhere I want to be that I didn't really ever think would be for me. I think we're there. That was a quick one. All right. You're a fire sign, though, so it happens sometimes. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.